Hello everybody, AVT here, and I am back with another video for Star Wars Galaxy's Legends. And today I'm going to cover a topic that I've been requested to cover quite a few times, a Lightside Jedi build. So what I have here is my Lightside Jedi, and yes, it once was my Darkside Jedi, but it is no more. So I've switched them over to Lightside for a couple of reasons. They're just far superior in PvE and the amount of mobs that you can take on, and then frankly I think they're much more useful in PvP as well these days. So I've changed my opinion a little bit on the Darkside Jedi, but anyways, here we are. So let's go ahead and dive right into this. Let's start with our expertise. Alright, so diving into our expertise, let's start over here in the Path tab, because it's nice and simple. Basically, you're going to slap absolutely everything that's in this column over here. So you're going to want to take everything related to your Lightside Jedi stance here. Cautious nature would really help if I could speak. You're going to get your increased critical hit defense here, all the way down into this is a debuff cleanse, and then your self heals being increased by 25% per point spent. Incredibly important. Going down into here, you're going to get Saber Reflect and Improved Saber Reflect, also incredibly important. And then right here, Anticipate Aggression. All damage dealt to Jedi is reduced by 4% per point spent when using a Jedi stance. That's going to make you an absolute unit of a tank. And then over here, this is the more offensive side of the tree. You're going to get Saber Shackle, which adds a 25% per point spent to Snare, a 2% chance per point spent to root a target with Saber Throw, and it adds 1% damage bonus to Jedi strike damage per point spent. Going all the way down into, you've got this here, which is kind of neat, adds a 5% chance to strike twice with a lightsaber, and you've got Saber Flurry down here, which is going to be a fairly high damage output ability for the Lightside Jedi. Then on over into the General tab. This is how I like to lay out my General tab for my Lightside Jedi. Now, I like to go pure tank up here with my points. I like to get my 2 points into Constitution for an extra 50 Constitution, and the same for Agility here. And then I go 4 points into Alacrity. Now that gives you the chance for a blow to glance off you is increased by 2% per point spent. So you're going to be looking at an 8% increase in glancing blow. So that's pretty big. And then right here, I take 3 points into Premonition, increase evasion chance by 2% per point spent, and evasion value by 8 per point. Now, I would love to go 4 here, but I actually go 3, and that's so I can get Force Cloak, which we'll talk about here in a moment. And then over here, you've got increased chance to parry by 10% over in defensive fighting, and then improved Saber Block improves the chance to parry an attack by 5% per point spent while Saber Block is active, which once again is going to make you incredibly tanky. Now, let's talk about some variances that you can do here. So I like to take Force Cloak, which allows the Jedi to escape from combat, and that is for 2 reasons. One, in PvE, if I somehow manage to get myself in over my head, I can use this ability and get out of it. Now, using this in PvP is honestly PvE is honestly fairly rare. Where I find this most useful is in PvP. If you find yourself in a situation where you've miskited or you're overexposed or you're being overengaged on, you can drop out of combat for a moment, recoup, reposition, and then try again. So I like the utility of Force Cloak, and I think it's a very versatile ability. Now, some people I know will opt out of not taking Force Cloak, and they might put an extra point here and then another point in Strength, more than likely. Or you'll come over here, and I know some people like to take these points into Force Throw. There's really a lot of options. Basically, the only thing you probably will not be putting these points into and these points into is down here in Force Shockwave. It's just not a worthwhile ability for most people. I know there's a small percentage of people that will disagree with me, excuse me. That's okay. We're allowed to disagree. But these points I consider a little bit free-floating. If you want to pull them out and go a little bit more damage-oriented, you can. Because as a Lightside Jedi, you're just going to be inherently incredibly tanky. So that's up to you, but this is the build that I like to run. Alright, so on to our gear. So this really should come as no surprise for those of you who play Lightside Jedi, but I am running the Guardian's Heroic set. I know some people, if they're going more damage, like to run Duelist, but I just find that the Guardian is the best overall. It's going to give you that 20 Constitution, 1 action cost reduction, and 1 glancing blow increase, as well as a 5 piece bonus here, which is a plus 150 additional Constitution, plus 5% crit hit reduction, plus 10 action cost reduction, and then you get the Guardian Strike, which is a very unique taunt mechanic. At least for this game, it's a unique taunt mechanic. Pretty much reserved for this set and certain pets. So it's very, very nice to have it, and it's what I recommend for pretty much any light side build. So, over to the cloak, I'm running the Shatterpoint Cloak. It's going to give you the 135 agility, constitution, luck, and strength, as well as, this is really the only one that applies to me because I'm using a polearm, but I've got polearm lightsaber damage 4. So very nice there. I can make a separate video on how to get this cloak, as well as the belt of Master Bodo Bass up here, but that's a whole nother topic. And then onto my standard 35s, I am running agility, constitution, and strength in all of them. And my exotics are a little bit different. So my shirt, I run the crit hit reduction, healing potency, and glancing blow increase. Now I know this isn't technically optimal, because crit hit reduction is mostly going to apply to PvP, whereas the glancing blow is more focused on PvE, but it's an all-round good balance, I find, to where I don't have to have 2 separate sets of gear, and for the most part, I don't really like to run 2 separate sets of gear unless I'm on my main character, and it's just due to the expense. So I think this is a well-rounded, happy median, if you will. And then here on my lightsaber, I am running polearm lightsaber action cost, reduction, polearm lightsaber damage, and glancing blow increase. Now I only run the action cost here on the lightsaber because I feel if I go down this road and I take the single 35 that has the action cost reduction, I no longer have any action problems whatsoever on my Lightside Jedi. I can do whatever I want. I can spam my abilities all day. I'm never going to have action restrictions, so I find that really, really helpful. And then here's the belt of Master Bodo Bass, which is going to give me 50 Constitution, 50 Luck, 50 Precision, and 50 Strength. So another well-rounded item. So that brings us to a grand total of 465 Strength, 850 Constitution. Our stamina is not modified, so it's the base 105, 105 Precision, 430 agility, and 215 luck. So that's it for what I'm wearing as far as my armor and weapons go. Now let's go ahead and dive into the buffs. Alright, and now I am fully buffed, so let's take a look at our stats. So we're at 820 strength, 1370 constitution, 375 stamina, 325 precision, 960 agility, and 215 luck. And then over here, I run Glancing Blow power-ups, and they are not the best power-ups right now, but we are at a Glancing Blow increase of 34. So we're going to be very, very durable in PvE, and we're still going to be fairly durable in PvP. About the only thing I would change out between the two is that I would run crit hit reduction power-ups instead of Glancing Blow increase. So all 3 of my power-ups right now are Glancing Blow increase. And then what I run for my food, wherever it went, is the Flame Out drink, which is plus 210 agility. And then I also get this strike through chance and strike through value here. I'm not super concerned about that on my Lightside Jedi. This is really what I'm after. Agility is such an important stat whenever you're looking to be sort of a dodge or parry tank like the Jedi is. So that's about it for the build itself. If you have any questions, please just let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions down in the comments below, or if you want to message me on Discord, please feel free. I also will include a little bit of footage of how this build performs in case you don't want to take my word for it, and then I'll talk to you again at the end of the video. Alright, here we are at the entrance to the Night Sister Stronghold, or Night Sister Cave, excuse me, here on Dathomir. So I'm going to go run through, aggro a bunch of mobs, and show you what this build can do. It'd be a lot better if the front of the cave wasn't cleared already. Let's aggro all of these mobs then. Well, and there you have it, folks. You can pretty easily take on pretty large mobs in PvE, and then you're also going to be able to tank pretty effectively in heroic instances. Now, my lightsaber itself, which I didn't talk about earlier, is not necessarily ideal. Well, it's not even close to ideal, to be honest. I've got some pretty mediocre pearls in here, as well as I'm running the Blackwing crystal right now. I believe I'm going to swap over to Windu's Guile here once I get it in a few days. But that's really the only change I would make to the build as it is, other than going through, recrafting my lightsaber, putting better pearls in it, and putting a different crystal in it. And we can talk about crystals in another video if that's a topic that you guys want covered. But that'll do it for this video. So as always, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, once again, please let me know down below, and I'll see you next time.